Hello，大家好，我们是原柚子 Studios 妹子普米，欢迎回到霍格华兹。好哦，那我们今天继续悲伤与复仇。我应该先问娜娜，自从我帮助她和贝拉先生逃离了火灰蛇的藏身处后，她过得怎么样？好
，Resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
圣诞节耶！大家都在。Hello.
I have been meaning to speak with you. I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders. You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day. I wonder how everyone knows about it. I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
她的担心合情合理。
I don't blame her for being concerned. We have been involved in some dangerous activities. As the Ashwinders were locking me up and threatening my life, it did occur to me that my mother may have been right. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided? She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today. What exactly happened to your father? It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah. Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it? He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle. He didn't want you to identify him. Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault. Your fault? How so? He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
所以你想要复仇吗？
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death? No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who cannot. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
有，那你的母亲还好吗？
What does your mother think about all of this? Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She is an excellent seer, but I think it bothers her to this day that she did not see my father's death coming. She misses him, as do I. So I believe on some level she understands my need to seek justice in a small way. But that does not mean that she likes it.
有能力的人都会觉得，如果我可以去阻止他，或者早日发现的话，我明就有这个能力，为什么没有办法去阻止这件事情的发生？所以他们就对自行感到自责。这就是为什么大家都会讲说，能力越大，责任越大。可是这些事情明明就是不能怪你。
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing? Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
哎呦，我很遗憾。
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional. He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that. Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
还可以啦。好，我们可以去找校长致辞了。哦，我们终于可以走主线了。看看那个校长要跟我们说什么。
Welcome back.
Hey.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
哟，校长办公室，真不愧是。
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
这任校长真的是不愧是霍格华兹最不受欢迎的校长，历任以
How
来。
nice to see you, my young.
哟，我要你帮忙。
Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well, you'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more.
果然，不管几岁都会想要使坏。哇，变成讨人厌的家伙了。
How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
好哦。哇，我这样子到处乱跑，他会不会对我指指点点？
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and well,
I did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Oh, 真的吗？
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather
我觉得
unenviable task.
校长知道了，一定会把我杀
I
掉。
wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the ministry.
快走，快走！
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
Gareth! Mr. Weasley! What are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor. Yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago. Muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
这样我可以当校长。
There's one for my diary.
快走，快走！
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Professor Black, how are you, sir?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with, bubo tuber pus makes a fine, mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
真的是很糟糕。
When I...
Something is very wrong with Professor.
快走，快走！哦，你
Professor
在这里。
A word? Professor Black? Again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
有什么办？
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better.
哇！校长知道大概会气死，绝对会气死的那一种。
Headmaster, I hope it's not about anything I've been doing.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
我真的觉得我可以当校长，不知道为什么。反正只要够尖酸刻薄，都可以当校长。
For any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
Professor, I need to speak to you. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
我并不想念他。
Ah, well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
喂，把大家耍得一愣愣的。
job. Leeway for Professor Fig? I shall never understand that man.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
希望不会聪明反被聪明误。
As his house elf, there's no doubt in
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
我改变心意了。
And now I'm telling you that you can tell me.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
纯正血统。
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
喂，
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight.
哦，要失灵了，啵啵。
Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle.
真是很糟糕。然后我们接下来应该是直接去办公室吧。
To now.
因为我只记得他好像在一个很高的地方。噔噔噔噔。好远好远，校长这也太远了吧！爬上来腿都断了。这个
The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password.
轻声说密码。
Toujours pure.
哦
Revelio.
Toujours pure。
I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto.
哦，校长是，可恶，打不开。
Alohomora.
Revelio.
这边可以干嘛？哦，上面有东西。你就只是出来，那干嘛要设2道锁？那是有病耶！气死！哦，分离帽。A。这里有东西。沉睡的肖像，并不是每任校长和女校长都喜欢重温日常生活的挑战。要进一所魔法与巫术学院可不容易，有些人比较喜欢把尽可能的时间把握打瞌睡。哎呦，所以这边还有什么东西呢？
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
我会在那本书找到什么？
What can I expect to find in the book?
A story. I cannot say more. You may recognize some elements of it, as I was inspired by a tale with which many wizarding children are familiar.
好哟。
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time?
这个是什么？
Revelio.
有什么不能拿？收据：生发水蜡、绿玫怪发油、珍珠手柄梳子、金色手柄不求人、黑色金灭剂。小额定金已收款，其余向魔法部长收取。为什么不能拿这个？ 对啊，我明明就可以观察到他，可是他不让我拿。
Revelio.
上面
That must be the pedestal.
46块。
Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald, can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Neve. You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem.
Ooh.
You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me.
快速又
The
谨慎，
first you will need is a cloak.
需要一件披风。
It's exhausting.
穿越小镇而不被看见。
In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
到底是什么寓言故事啊？你的故事不可以，就是快乐和谐一点啊。Go。好诶。
I should have run when I could. I'd be free by now.
This is my chance. I'm coming, Neve.
天哪，哦，这跟我的世界好像哦。怎么说呢？因为都是黑白的，全部都是黑白的世界。哦，你看错了，你看错了。
I see. A staircase straight ahead.
趁现在。哦
Death.
如果我在这个寓言故事里面死掉了，那就是现实中的主角会死吗？
How could this happen? A ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there.
哦，突然出现这么多只，快走！跟我的人生一样，都是黑白的。
They're gone. For now. I need to get out of here. Where could Neve be?
我想要过彩色的人
I
生。
must cross this road as fast as I can.
好累，慢慢走。
That's where I need to go. But I need to find a way past them.
想办法绕过他们，他们就不走啊。不够。哦，他在前面。
Nothing this way but more danger. There must be another way to find you. I need to turn back. There's no getting past them that way.
什么啊？我从哪里走？我要从哪里走？后面哦，这里。
Closed tight. That doorway looks like the only safe way forward.
哦，你怎么这么多人啊？快滚，快滚！
Now's my chance.
Wow.
That's the way forward.
披风，隐形斗篷吗？
Can this be?
真的耶！
I think I'm invisible.
我要往前走啊！这样他们就100%看不到我了，对吧？
Can't see me at all. I can get closer to them.
喂，这是一个 bug。我觉得哈利之所以会那么幸运，可能就是因为他有个很厉害的老爸。
Now, where are you, Neve?
You have outrun death thus far, but have yet to find me. Keep searching, but this time you will be unable to hide. Wield the wand you see before you. Do not squander its extraordinary power.
这个是伏地魔的法杖吗？
I've never felt such power.
哦，所以我现在可以用魔法了。
Bombarda! Revelio.
可是全部都是黑白的，让我有点，可以换吗？不行，就只有这样。其实我觉得他的试炼明明就可以做的再更丰富一点，可是他却一直要我打怪。其实对于前面2个试炼，第1个试炼我可以接受啦，第2个试炼就让我觉得有点无聊。 就是他也可以就是像这样，就是弄一个故事，然后让我去亲身体会。我觉得他对于第2个试炼的配置让我觉得有点浪费。这个魔杖本来就很强吗？我个人觉得很好用。结束。 你知道戴南瓜面具一阵子，我已经很久没有看到我角色的本体。
Revelio.
大家觉得戴南瓜面具比较有安全感。原来是你吗？来吧。 会有这么强的力量？有来啦，我们就可以。真的很不擅长这种被人家包围的战斗。嗯哼，那这里有什么嘞？
Stone. This must be for me.
神秘的魔法石，重生石，贤者之石。
You are far from finished. Pass through the mourners ahead. Nothing.
She's gone.
Dear
sweet Neve. Let us always honor her memory.
May her memory be a treasure to us forever.
完成10项的试炼。
You found me, but you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self.
所以就是没有办法死而复生，魔法也是一样。
But there is no light without shadow, as there is no shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should. Remember that as you witness my memory.
有些事情是一体两面的啊。这个试炼我就喜欢啊，真的是比之前第2个试炼好多了。
Isadora, What you did for your father was remarkable.
Well, wasn't it? And Percival needn't worry about the strands of emotion or the traces that this magic leaves. I found a way to contain all of it.
You haven't stopped.
Goblin silver.
You spoke to a goblin about this.
Don't worry, he has no idea what we're containing.
We don't know what effect any of this may have. The emotions, the dark traits.
You sound like Percival. And as it happens, I do know. It is a source of strength, of focus. Somehow it enhances my ability to wield magic.
I don't follow, Isadora.
I think we can harness it.
Power like this is not to be toyed with. In the wrong hands,
You saw what I did for my father. Oh, Neve, imagine the good we could do. Everyone is in some kind of pain.
What are you doing?
Breathe it in.
Can you feel it?
吸毒
Oh,
干嘛？
Isadora. This must stop. All of it.
You've kept this power to yourselves for so long because you fear it. I choose to embrace it.
啊，所以就产生了不同的选择。
Is it true? Has someone completed the first 3 trials?
It is, and I have.
But you are so...
Young. I know. You must be Professor Bakar.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed. Was Isadora inhaling painful emotions?
She was.
太厉害了，某种意义上来说。
I was amazed to see that it seemed to give her some sort of power, and that she could harness it. But how?
I worry that you seem more intrigued than repulsed. I hesitate to reveal the location of my pensive to someone who, perhaps, has yet to understand the responsibility of power.
I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, what you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizard kind. We have no time to waste.
I see. Nonetheless, the knowledge you shall gain after you witness my memories is too valuable to share without further consideration. I shall require time to confer with the other keepers.
It seems we have no choice but to wait, frustrating as it is. I heard what you told Professor Bakar. Isadora was inhaling emotions to gain power?
She was, and she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission.
Monstrous.
What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver.
The repositories?
Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragbor.
5 names? The Keepers, and who else? Isadora Morganac?
Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle.
If the Keepers won't tell you where the next trial is yet, I say we at least maintain a watch on Ranrock. Perhaps he'll lead us to more information.
Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm.
I knew it would. I may have done too good a job distracting Black. I had no idea he can't hold his fire whiskey.
哎呦，传说中的英雄啊，真的是好哦好哦。 那我们这一集应该就先到这边了，耶！感谢各位啊！因为现在开始上班了，然后上班超累，然后塞巴斯汀，好耶！我可以继续学黑魔法了。还有别封信吗？威斯利，什么都没有讲，就直接 OK。反正就是因为上班时间就已经压榨我70%的体力了，所以如果下班再来拍影片的话，会显得超累，所以我只能拿我假日的时间，就是我休息的时间。所以我们之后就佛系更新。好，如果没有别的问题，我们今天先到这边，感谢各位的陪伴。好哦，那我们下次见喽，拜拜。